Okay, so when you're selling your property, I think the most important thing, like the biggest thing that I do with selling a property and how I'm able to sell properties quickly, I think, is that I decide on who my avatar is. And so like, that's just like a modern way of saying like my perfect buyer. And so, I mean, and the property really dictates it. And the property dictates it. And the property dictates who your perfect buyer would be. So an example where I think I went the furthest with this was I was selling a condo and a high-rise. And it wasn't a very large condo, but it was in a very nice building. Pretty small condo, but fancy. So, so 1 bedroom, 1 bath. So, of course, and turn the ringer off on my phone. Anyway, so I knew that the buyer would be someone that, well, I thought, okay, it's going off over there too. Someone that traveled a lot. Where this place wouldn't be their main or primary home, but that it would be a secondary home, maybe even one of multiple secondary homes, or kind of like a crash pad or a pied-à-terre. And so I just thought about that and what they would want in a secondary home in a major city. So I went a little far with this, like I said. So I removed all of the fancy cookware, for cooking, skillets and all of that, because that person's in cooking. And so I set up a nice bar with some pretty fancy stuff on the counter. Luckily, no one took that. And the cabinets, that were wine glasses and champagne glasses and whiskey glasses and that kind of thing. So I figured one, they would be sort of a liquor, I guess, connoisseur. And then around the property, I had magazines, like travel magazines around, and a lot of travel magazines. And so I just had a stack of real old ones, so I just put that around. Everything was really, really nice, and it was more, it's my phone again. It was more about, I made the property, how I staged it was more about more aesthetically pleasing than comfort. Because it's probably, would have been a place that would have been in and out, flying here, flying there, leaving, I'm going to be here for, 24 hours. And so, kind of thinking about like when you go to a hotel, and so like if it's a fancy hotel, it's like a Four Seasons or something like that, the sofa's not like the most comfortable. I mean, the bed is, but the sofa's not, necessarily the most comfortable, because are you really going to be laying on the sofa, if you're renting a room at the Four Seasons, you're not going to have anybody on the couch. So it's just about aesthetics and it being really pretty. And so in the bathroom, it's sort of fancy, really fancy toiletries, that kind of thing, because this person would be someone that enjoys finer things in life, And in the refrigerator, there was Smart Water and Perrier, and I might even have a couple of sugar-free Red Bulls, but I think that was really for me. And And I removed a lot of the furnishings that were in the property. It needed to be a little sparse, which I think is a good rule for selling any property. Over time, we collect a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff. And my husband refers to me as a hoarder. So, you know, I get it. You have stuff everywhere. That's comfortable, but when a potential buyer is looking at your property, you don't want them to feel overwhelmed with all of your things. Oh, and that reminds me, so another thing I did was I removed all of the photos, personal photos, family photos that were in this property. I know there's different opinions about that, but I want the potential buyer to envision themselves there, so not your family. Now, I did leave photos, travel photos, you know, where there's no one in the photos of scenery, that kind of thing. Some of those were framed in the property. Again, you know, showing that this is a property for a traveler. And so when I sold the property, I actually sold the property to an attorney, an international attorney that lived, primary home was out of the country. And so I think I was right on target with who I sort of envision the buyer for this property. And so if I were to lend some advice, if you're considering selling your home, think about who this property would be perfect for. Like who, you know, I mean, anyone can live in any property. I mean, it could have been a family of, you know, 4, a husband and wife with 2 small children that may have wanted to move into this condo, and that would have been fine. But if I had to sort of just guess, like who would be purchasing this property, would be interested in this property, or this property would be attracted to, I sort of, I would suggest that you focus the surroundings and how you prepare your property for sale with that person in mind. So that's my little tip. If you have any questions, you want to reach out, hit me at ash-mcginty.com. Thanks for watching.